Welcome, friends. Today, we are doing another live stream. Incredible. That's right, friend. It is incredible. And I'll tell you why. Because this is not my first live stream of the day. I have literally just stopped streaming on the gaming channel. I have literally just stopped. And so here I am with you now, streaming on the Perfume channel. I was blackmailed by Lily. Sort of. How are you doing? We do meet again. How's Lily? Oh dear. Good evening, Manginosis. Good evening, Juro. Panda Fragrancers. Non-stop streaming, a true man of the people, that's right. Hello, Enrique Vasquez. That is right, friends. I have been streaming. I have been streaming like a madman. What's this? Go back to playing? No, Lily blackmailed me. She bribed me. She cajoled me and bullied me. And now here I am, streaming. Streaming on the Perfume channel. Duck streams. Lily ate some dairy and is not faring well. Oh dear. Andrej, how are you? Paroli, what's happening? P.O. Benson, how are you? Are you keeping all right? How is everyone? It's true. She had me by the ear. That's right. Friends, my scent of the day today was... Can you guess? It was Tabac Rouge by Fade On. Hi, Kitchy K. How's Kitchy K? I wore Tabac Rouge by Fade On. This is the first time I've worn it in autumn and winter 23, 24, I should say. Oh, scent of the day is Ambre Chromatique by Maison Crivelli. I don't think I've smelled that one. Oh, I did get the Crivelli sample set and did a first impression series on them, I think. I wasn't impressed. I was not impressed. What? No, not Crivelli. Who was it? Was it Crivelli? No. I can't remember whose sample set it was. It wasn't Crivelli. It wasn't Angelos. Wasn't Warwickina, Clunkeen, Ducita, Eldo, Eris, Grossmith, Mathieu Premiere. Wasn't Parfum d'Empire. Wasn't Strange Love. Wasn't Zoologist. Who was it that I did it? Was it Crivelli? No. No, it wasn't. Where's my first impressions? Playlists. First impressions. It was Rabachi. It was Rabachi. I wasn't impressed. I've got it at a Crivelli. But it was Maison Rabachi. Excuse me. Hello, Dushan. Yes, I was rich. Iris Malacan. I had Iris Malacan and got rid of it. And I have actually got Patchouli Magnetique, which is quite nice. I'm good. I bought a vintage doll collection for super cheap and have been cleaning them, but restoring them and listing them on Mercari for sale. I'm a doll flipper. Outrageous, you're a doll flipper. Thou shalt come a day when millions will be waiting for the gaming stream and the perfumistas will be gone like tears in the dry down. La Couche de Diable receiving a vintage Amen tomorrow, hunting for a pure Havana. I have a vintage pure Havana that you could have. I sold one to a Nouge, which went to his brother-in-law in England. But I have a vintage. I don't really care for pure Havana, to be honest with you. I've only got it for nostalgia, to be honest with you. But I would sell it. It's a Thierry Mugler version as well. Not a Pugler, a pure Mugler version. Still quite warm here, says Juro. Amawaj portrayal from the sample today, and I kind of like it. Panda says, testing my newly acquired 1990 vintage Egoist versus the 2003, but the 90s longer lasting and rounder. Yes. Mugler hasn't made a good fragrance. What? P.O. Bankston, please lick the stream. If licking streams is your goal, if it is your wish, if that's what you want to do, do not let me stop you. Please be my guest. Spaced out, welcome. Mugler makes good fragrances. Well, they used to. They don't anymore. They don't make anything anymore. They've discontinued the Amen line. Might wear Bally Masculine tomorrow. Oh, God. Sorry, friends. I've just sprayed some Cavonia, which is not a perfume, by the way. It's a throat spray. I've just sprayed some of that. Paroli says, it's crazy how hard they are to find now. eBay is littered with fakes to make it even worse. Nightmare. I bought all mine from the shop. They are a nightmare to get a hold of. Kareem Camille. Kareem Ajibola Camille. How are you? Welcome. I hope you are well. Sometimes it takes me a minute to get people's names right. Bear with us, please. I'm very sorry. What is happening? My throat is feeling like rough. There it is. Kareem, it says, scent of the day is Gucci Intense Oud. I know you're against oud, Rich, but I'm sure you'd like this blend from Gucci. I used to have it. I actually gave it to my friend. I wasn't wearing it. I really liked it the first time I smelled it. I really liked it, and I had a bottle for a while and enjoyed it, and then I stopped enjoying it, so I gave it to my friend. But it was nice. Why am I throwing bottle caps and bottles around my bedroom? Stop doing that, Richard. Oosh. I did used to have it. I did enjoy it. I still do. I enjoy smell. I couldn't wear it, I don't think, anymore. Well, that's probably not. It's probably a bit harsh. I probably could wear it. And I used to wear it. Amen line is the most overrated and nostalgic key jangling line in recent years, says Brody. That's not fair. It was fantastic when it was around at the time. Is your frantic Fragrantica wish list up to date? No, no, it is not. Have you seen it? It's absolutely ludicrous. It's absolutely fanciful. Fanciful is a very polite way of putting it. It's stupid. I've got like 550 fragrances on there, none of which I wish to try. I don't know why. It just goes to show how absolutely horrible Fragrantica is to use as a website. Because absolute pig to use that website. It's awful. Give us 2 seconds. I'm just putting this bottle outside. Oh. I have returned. Sorry, there is a part of my throat that really wants me to cough. Oosh. Know that the Fragrantica wish list to try. It's more of a to try list than a wish list. And it's been around for years, and I don't think anything's ever been removed from it. So it is not an accurate representation of my wishes, my collection. I recently moved all of my collection over to Parfumo. Spent a day logging all my collection onto Parfumo, and I've gone from on Fragrantica officially having 380 perfumes to 320. And that's a much more accurate representation of how many perfumes I've got now. You know, it's silly. So I've started logging what perfumes I've worn every day on Parfumo. I've started logging. All my perfumes on Parfumo. So that's the website I think I'm going to be using from now on, because Fragrantica is just an absolute joke to use. Like, it's the one I've used for years, like the best part of 10 years. But Parfumo is much better. Amen is an okay line. Dior Homme is a far superior as a line. Dior Homme has reached higher heights, but as a whole line, there's been some shocking Dior Hommes. Dior Homme Eau, crap. Dior Homme Sport, not great. Dior Homme Cologne. Dior Homme Cologne 2007 was really good. Dior Homme Sport 2008 was really good. The subsequent releases after that weren't great. The Demachy just releasing things to fill in a blank, you know, to fill in the gap. Doing good, and that was amazing pronunciation, says Karina Jolly. Ajibola, oh fuck me. Ajibola Camille, must have been beginner's luck. Kareem Ajibola Camille. There we go. I'm glad you liked it. Why couldn't you wear it? Gucci Intense Oud. Why couldn't I wear it? I think I spotted some kind of amber wood in it. Or was it just a little bit? I don't know, maybe it represented a certain time in my collecting where I was just accumulating perfume. And it was one of the ones that I was always going to wear something else instead. You know, there would always be something ahead of it that I was going to wear, you know. There was always something else that I was going to reach for ahead of. Gucci Intense Oud. Eugene, yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. This is, of course, my second stream of the day. Old Spiritus du Blivany is divine. Yes, there is Rasasi Hawass, that's why I'm asking. Yeah, that's fucking awful. I'm trying to get 366 so I can use one every day. I'm at 31 right now. I would aim for, not necessarily a number, but I would aim to fill a perfume or two for every kind of situation that you think it like, or a weather. Like I live in Britain, where like the weather is like the emperor of life. So I've got a perfume for every kind of weather. I feel like, you know what I mean. There's no kind of situation that I'm not prepared for, and I've got less than one every day. You know. But I don't wear two perfumes 2 days in a row. I don't wear the same perfume 2 days in a row. So I mean, it's your money. You can spend it on whatever you like and however you like. When's the last time you wore Promise, Rich? It would have been before I sold it, mate. Sold it earlier this year. Sold loads of stuff. Egoist of Bois de Zile. Egoist every day of the week. Every day of the week. Speed Wolf, how come you never talk about bass notes? Well, bass notes is on its arse at the minute, isn't it? It's not working. There's a lot of conversation on bass notes. I always found bass notes was. I also think bass notes isn't very easy to use on a mobile phone. You've got to remember, I don't have a laptop. I don't have a PC. I do everything that I do on my phone. Everything. Excuse me whilst I hydrate. So my personal assistant is my phone. Very sweet, Pradeep. Mitch, it's time to sample Girl On exclusive line. It still amazed me that you didn't try those. I don't have any. I don't have any. I don't have any samples. I don't have any to try, I don't think. You have any Nasa Matto stashed away? Nope. I used to think Black Afghano was nice, and then after a while I just thought, I kind of felt like I saw through it. You know what I mean? I was like, this is a bit crap. And I kind of feel like they're all like that. That's fair. The emperor of life it is. The weather dominates everything about British life. It's silly. And for a bunch of people who always talk about the weather, we're woefully underprepared for it. Bass Notes is by far the best forum, in my opinion. I think that's part of it as well. I don't want to use it as a forum. I don't want to use my fragrance website as a forum. I want to use it as a I want to use it as a database. I want to use it as a reference. I don't necessarily want to use it as like what you said there, you know, a forum. Do you know, I think I'm going to sell ombre leather. I never wear it. I never, ever wear it. How do you get rid of a fragrance on your skin ready for the next day? Some niche are still there the next day, even after washing skin. I don't know. I don't really have that kind of problem, to be honest. I don't know that I have any fragrances that do that anymore. I don't have any fragrances with like huge amber woods in anymore, and amber woods would be the main culprit for that kind of behavior, you know? Excuse me. How many kebabs can you eat in one sitting? How many can Audrey Jane eat? No, I don't eat kebab. I think they're vile. Excuse me, I've got the coughs. Sorry about that, Zippy. Oh, yeah. I've enjoyed my day with Tobacco Rouge. It's nice, but very cinnamon, very sweet as well. And it's got this really weird tobacco leaf kind of note going on, which is very, it's almost jarring. It almost jars against the vanilla and the cinnamon, you know. Very strange. Many people starting to complain about new Coromandel batches being awful. Looks like I'm not the only one, says Spaced Out. Doesn't perfume as alcohol remove perfume from the skin? Never tried it. Could do. Sounds legit. Welcome, Paul Femo. How are you? Number of kebab outlets in Berlin is insane. I've never been to Berlin. Berlin's quite artsy, isn't it? It's quite an artsy little place to be. There's lots of artery goes on there. Artness. Oh dear. My throat is very unhappy with me. Very unhappy. Bob says brat wolf. Yeah, I'm not massively. I think Base Notes is a big forum-based kind of thing where people go to debate and argue and tussle and preach, pontificate, however you want to put it. I don't want to do that. I'll do all of that on my channel. I'll do all of that here, or I'll do that on like live streams or in the comments if I can be. You've got to remember, when I'm in the comments, I can only respond to a certain degree because I've got so many people to respond to. I usually just give like one-line answers. I like to reply to everybody, but it's difficult when you've got 40 people leaving a comment, you know. I like to acknowledge people for commenting because it's very kind of them and I appreciate it. But it's difficult to have like a proper full-on conversation. I'm not a big texter if I can help it either. I think this might just be my laziness. I'd rather talk. I find talking a lot easier than I do texting. You know? Just one of them things. When will you start using your amber perfumes, autumn or winter? I've already started using them. If you watched the rotation yesterday, I wore Ambra Sultan last week. I wore Lagerfeld Cologne last week. What else did I wear last week? Is Noir Anthracite an amber? Ugh, that's a push. That's a big push. But I'm gonna be wearing ambers as more and more and more, you know. I do love bratwurst with mustard. Bratwurst with mustard, sausage and mustard. Good grief. It's not for me. Not for me. Sausage and mustard. I'm funny about sausages because they can put fucking anything into sausages. It's grim. It's usually all the shit they've got left at the end of the day. That's what they put into sausages. They rarely put prime meat into sausage. And hot dogs are an absolute no-no. Do not eat hot dogs. Oh. I don't get any amber and ambering away. I don't think you're supposed to get amber and away. I think it's meant to be like an ambergris thing. They're eating bratwurst with curry in Berlin. Good God. Cool spots in Berlin, but then there's also McDonald's next to Checkpoint Charlie. Everything is amber now, says Brody. Dark. At McDonald's being next to Checkpoint Charlie's just the most. It's just the most, isn't it? I might wear some more Royal Oud in the coming days and weeks. Has anybody tried Ambra by Lorenzo Villarese? I'm a big fan of Lorenzo Villarese. Welcome Paulo Gomez. How are you? How was Paulo? Only in England they put shit into sausages. On the continent in France, Germany, Italy, they use proper meat, says Spy and Mash. Paulo, what do you think of Ambra by Villarese? Do you like it? What's it like? It's very incensey, dry. Okay. Sausage is great in Deutschland. I'll take your word for it. Not the usual amber we know of. Not sweet. Yeah, it's meant to be ambergris, isn't it? Ambra by Villarese is a masterpiece. Not going to knock finding, says Lily. I saw that, Lily. It smells more like elemi. Yeah, it's yeah. This is what I'm loving at the minute. This Anik Gutal. Paul Feno says, today I tried Shalimar Millissim Iris. How is it? Hello, perfume snobs. I find it hard to reach for another amber fragrance over Ambra Sultan, says Speedwolf. Yes. Galfar, welcome. Tried Ambra de Nepal. I've never even heard of it. I can see your autumn fragrances are out already, eh? Yes, I did the rotation a couple of weeks ago, did a live stream on that. And I did a top 10 most worn spring and summer 2023. I'm searching for more stealth fragrances in the line of Bois d'Argent. Love how long it lasts despite being quiet. So you want like a long-lasting skin scent. That's quite cool. Long-lasting skin scents. Hello, Peter. I am spoiling you. Two streams in one day, one after the other. New King Blue is disappointing, says Paolo. I was listening to the Les Odorants podcast. Mitchie from Newcastle, you support Newcastle or Sunderland? Newcastle, never Sunderland. Horrible Sunderland. Not to knock finding ways to use every part of the animal to make meals and making life go a little further. Yes and no. Don't get me wrong. If I was out there hunting and fucking like, if I'd been like that, it's just I do not want to be using those bits of the fucking animal in my food if I can pay to have a choice. You know? We're not hunter-gatherers now. But if I was a hunter-gatherer, then absolutely I would use every single part of the animal with exception of the brain, because that shit makes you ill. Eating brain will make you bad. Perfume snobs, I am from near Newcastle. Not actual Newcastle, but near Newcastle. Hello. Peter is editing a video. I'm more hyped to the return of Les Odorants than any release this year, says Parola. Yes, I'm glad they're back as well. Evening, Rich Mitch and all. Scent of the day is modern Creed Millesima Imperial. It's fucking atrocious compared to the early stuff, says Nick. Nick, I've got a bottle of the early stuff, which I am selling. There it is. If you give us a second, that's how much left's in it. That's the earlier stuff. I think it's from, I want to say, let's have a look, because the thing is not easy to spray. It's not easy to see. A321 watts. It's a 2011. I'm selling that if you want it, Nick. Is that Amber Fetiche more benzoine than amber? No, that's Miradont. But I also have, fuck's sake, just absolute. Sorry, friends. I've also got an Amber Fetiche and a Miradont. I do apologise, friends. That was outrageous. And I've got an Ensence Flamboyant as well. That was a bit of a disaster. Perfume Snob says I support Sunderland till I die. Sorry, don't be sorry. It's fine. Nobody's perfect. Tom Ford Mermistier for $1,300. What the fuck? Says Nuclear One. Yes. There's no chance I'm buying that. I've heard from the sales associates that's not very good. Welcome, Germs. Wearing Patchouli Imperial. How are you feeling? I'm all right. I've got a bit of something going on in my throat, but apart from that, I'm okay, thank you. Wow. Man United fan here. No one's perfect. Exactly. It's good, but a little too sweet, especially in the first 10 minutes, then less sticky. I think it's well done and interesting. I expected more iris, in particular the earthy and buttery facets. Let's smell this Millesima Imperial. Rich, salty, a little bit fruity, very ye old Creed. These 3 vintage plus Vetera is all I want from Goutal, says Guro. If you're in Britain, somebody's selling a vintage Goutal, actually. A vintage Vetera, sorry. On British eBay. Oh, that Millesima Imperial has filled my nostrils. Scent of the day is modern Creed Millesima Imperial. Yikes. It's absolutely filled the room, that. Well, Musk 25 yesterday. Stuff is glorious, says Spacedot. Pound of Fragrance says, on my way out of the Hong Kong airport last night, I smelled the entire Alabo City exclusive line, offensively overpriced. Yes, they are overpriced. I don't think they're very good perfumes, to be honest. Erich, does the vintage original Vetiver perform good as some of the latest version? And it does not. It performs about 6 to 8 hours, which is good for what it is. I really like it for the highest of high heat. You know, when it gets to like 35, 40 Celsius. Silly heat. Aye. It has something of the initial. It's good, a little bit too sweet in the first 10 minutes and less sticky. I think it's well done and interesting. I expected more iris, in particular the earthy and buttery facets, but I have no regret. It has something of the initial. There are a few perfumes I want from Villarese. I have only the Ylang Ylang, which I love. I haven't smelled that. I haven't smelled a lot of Villarese. I've got Patchouli, I've got Sandalo, and I have got Incensi, which is lovely. I think the next sample set I'm going to buy is going to be... It's going to be... the James Healy one. try the James Healy ones, but I've got loads of samples to get through at the minute. I've got to do Aedes de Venustus, I've got to do Anatole Le Breton, which is what I'm leaning towards doing next. Alamut, Patchouli, Uomo, Ilang Ilang, Ambra I have from Lorenzo Villaresi, says Paolo. Every Labo I have tried I liked. I think they are my style, but the prices are too much, says Spaced Out. They're bloody expensive for what they are. I always think they feel unfinished. You know? I always feel like there's something missing from them. Like, the Labo performance blows usually, says Stevine. Don't mean to spoil, but all the Heelys ain't great, says Pradeep. I have Sandalo, Ambra, and Atman Zaman ADP. It's earthy, straight up patchouli. Lacks projection though, says Paolo. Yeah, it is straight up patchouli. I like straight up patchouli fragrances. You know, I've got patchouli by Profumum Aroma. I've got Real Patchouli by Bois 1920. I've got patchouli by Lorenzo Villaresi. You know, all Italian houses all love patchouli. I've got Monsieur by Frederick Malle, which is a big patchouli. Whenever I say big patchouli, I keep getting worried I'm going to say baked potato. I'm sure the older bottle will be strong. Essential Parfum are releasing a patch soon. Judo says, Le Breton is quite skillful. Went to 5 of them lately. Even the Tuberose, which is among my least favourite ones, was well done. The Labo fits into the same realm as Byredo, minimalist fragrance bottles that look good in luxury shops, but often aren't very good at very high prices. I love patchouli from Profumum Aroma, says Paul Parfumer. It is good. Earthy and musty. Opinion on Profumum Aroma Olibanum. I wasn't very impressed. I wanted more for what they were charging for it. I recently blind bought Ensence Flamboyant. Not sure what to think of it. Definitely not what I was expecting, says Speedwolf. What were you expecting? Patchouli Elixir by Reminiscence is nice. The patchouli from Reminiscence, the original one, was quite nice. That Millesime Imperial I have sprayed absolutely filled the room. Jesus. A proper incense, frankincense fragrance, says Speedwolf. So what is it? Is it? George is on his way to Millesime Imperial. I don't know that he is, actually. This is basically full. I was really lucky to get this. I was really lucky to get all 3 of these, actually. I was put onto them by Fleece. A lovely Fleece. She sent me samples of all 3. What about Fiore di Ambra? I've smelled that and I wasn't impressed. I wasn't impressed with Ambra Aurea either. It's rubbery. Big rubberized perfume. Those vintage Anacutala are impossible to find, says Perot. They're not easy to find out, I can tell you. I would love to try Dior Patchouli Elixir Prosciutto. I think I've tried that, actually. Have I tried the patchouli? Tried the amber one. I've tried the rose one. I've tried the jasmine one. I think I have tried it actually. Oh, once owned Sabla's in that bottle, sold it. Wrong move, says Paolo. What do you think of Encens Flamboyant? I'll come back to you. I'll come back to you. Xerjoff had an incense release earlier this year that is getting killed mostly because Xerjoff fans don't want pure incense oriental fragrances that smell like Bois Marican, says Divine. Xerjoff's a bad brand, in my opinion. Old George fun days they were. Yeah, I wasn't impressed with Fiore di Ambra. I tried both of the Perfumum Roma Ambas, expecting big things, and neither of them. If I was going to get one of them, I'd get Ambra Aurea, but I wouldn't get either of them. I don't think. I do not think I would. I'm looking forward to wearing all three of these this year, actually, especially Meurodon. Amber Fetiche is fucking glorious as well. I'm now looking for old versions of fragrances with real civet and oak moss, vintage Mitsuko, stuff like that. Yes, I actually today received a new bottle of something, which I will share with you now. But it is not for me, it is for someone else. I bought it as a present for them. I'm not sure they'll like it, actually. It's this. This is the Houndstooth 1970s vintage bottle of Mistior. As you can see, there's the reference. Port of Voyage. Reference again. No, what's it called? No barcode. The only Perfumum Roma I own is Marinka, the Oswald exclusive. It's a lovely orange creamsicle. Aqua Viva is the only Perfumum Roma I would buy. Xerjoff Women's line has gourmands. Men's line doesn't really have many, if any. I can't think of any at least. Hi everyone, hello Ashley Bissett. And now you're cracking. Here is the bottle. This cost me all of £40. Arso is great, says the Dute. Yes. Arso is a fantastic fragrance. This is a vintage Mistior. Full, completely full from the 1970s. Nobody else bid on it, and I paid £40 for it. Absolute daylight robbery. The dry down is super animalic. It's dirty, says Paolo. I think it's quite light. Unless I'm anosmic to it. I thought this was quite light. You know? But I've got it as a present for someone and I will be sending it to them soon. And we will see what they reckon. It has the hound's tooth. Hello, Rich. Hello, everyone. Scent of the day is Oriental Valeurs, a fragrance I enjoy wearing this time of year. I love Oriental Valeurs. Beautiful myrrh perfume. I'm massively into myrrh at the minute. Massively into myrrh. I might wear M7 at some point as well, actually. Oh, I've mentioned it. Au Noir as well. Coromandel. Pardon me. Secret de Parfum. Could do a top 10 myrrhs. Where do you buy vintage perfumes? Anywhere and everywhere. Anywhere and everywhere. I'm pretty fucking intrepid as far as buying me vintage perfumes are concerned. You know? I'm pretty fucking intrepid. Does anybody know anything about Miss Dior? I could ask Smurfy Girlie. I think she's a big Miss Dior fan. Actually, I know who'll know. It'll be Anoush. Still thinking about that new Crivelli. Got a 40 euro voucher, but that's only like 20% off. Ah, Paolo. What do you think of this, Paolo? Is this a vintage bottle? It seems in very good condition. For a bottle of fucking perfume that's older than me, this bottle's in better fucking condition than I am. You know? Like, I don't think it's fake. Opens up with a lot of galbanum. Alright, this is the box. £40. Where did you buy it? This is the box. It's got the reference on the side. There's no... It's dry, powdery, resinous. There's no barcode, nothing. And it's in the smell's in absolutely perfect condition. Oh, it is very lovely. It's got the little bow tie on the front, which is nice. Dry, powdery, resinous. But it is a present for my friend. And I only paid 40 quid. Probably worth about 5 times that, if I'm being honest, especially the condition it's in. It's in absolutely remarkable condition. Considering it's, like, older than I am. You know what I mean? Considerably older than I am. Try Mer Imperial. People adored it. Who's that by? Mer Imperial. Giorgio Armani. Olivia Peuchot. God rest his soul. Is it still available? For a grand, I get your website's fucking grunt. Oh, it's absolutely shit as fuck. I've got an itchy fucking finger. I think it's discontinued. They always sack their best stuff. I was talking to somebody today. I think it was in the comments. I think it was Lego East, and we were talking about Tom Ford, I think it was, but I was talking to somebody today, and it was like, if Tom Ford were to swap every perfume they've ever discontinued with every perfume they've ever kept around, the house would be twice as good, at least. That was the gist of what we were saying anyway. You know what I mean? Like, the house would be so much better. I mean, don't get us wrong, there's stuff like Tobacco Oud. Obviously, you've got your Tuscan leathers and your Tobacco Venise and Noir Extreme. I mean, they did discontinue Beau de Jour and then brought it back with amberwood in it. But if you consider all the perfumes that they've got rid of, it's shocking. Somebody sent me a screenshot the other day as well, saying that the new Dior is going to be a Dior Absolute Elixir. And I was like, I'm not entirely sure that that's real. In fact, I'm almost certain that that's just a myth that somebody's decided to put out there, you know? I think it's discontinued. They always sack their best stuff. Yeah, Fahrenheit Absolute Elixir, I hope not. From his first perfume that he's released, that Dior Riviera, right, I have lost a lot of hope because that smells like a Coeur de Jean. It smells like a Coeur de Jean perfume, and there's already enough Coeur de Jean perfumes in the world We don't need more Francis Kurkdjian perfumes. We need more Dior perfumes. You know, they should have given it to someone like Julien Rasconnay or Annick Menardo. Annick Menardo would have been a sensational in-house perfumer for Dior. She was perfect for it. She did one of the best fragrances of the century anyway. Already. It's a real shame what happened to Tom Ford, really. Yep, but if you stick around in perfume long enough, they all do it. They all do it. Look at. Let's take another house girl on. It's a real shame. You think what happened to Tom Ford's a shame? Look at what's happened to Girl On. You know, it's a shame what's happened to fucking Dior. A lot of people who are into the vintage, who are into Goutal, will tell you it's a shame what's happened to Goutal. Creed. It happens to all of them if they stick around long enough. YSL, yes, Ashley Bissett. YSL perfumes are dead. Awful perfume. They discontinued Mandarino D'Amalfi. Yes. Christian's sister Catherine during World War II joined the resistance. She was captured 2 years later. She was released to celebrate Catherine's braveness. Christian Dior created Miss Dior. That's a sort of version of what I wrote in my Insta. Yes, that is true. She was in the French resistance. She was a brave woman. If you sample Bois d'Armani and Gaillac 10, you will see a common thread with Bois d'Argent and Love Annex aesthetic. Yes, she did Jaipur Pour Homme as well. Also, she did La Little Olympique Au Masculin. In that 5 or 6 year period, she was very much into her vanillic, creamy, slightly sweet, beautiful things. Baccarat Rouge 540 probably sealed the deal. Money, money, money. Yeah. Yeah. I wore the old and new on the wall side by side yesterday, says Paroli. What did you think? I'm getting into Serge Lutens next week and heard only poor things about current versions of scents. that will be exacerbated by the fact that Serge Lutens has created like Serge Luton fans have created some kind of hysteria around the brand, and I'm not innocent of that myself. But they're a fucking nightmare to get the older ones now. If I sold my Serge Luton collection, I could probably afford a fucking house in a Mediterranean island. YSL will surprise us all with Koros Elixir, says Cole. Is Fev discontinued? I hope so. I think so, yeah. I think Fev is discontinued. To be fair, Girl On have made an effort not to reformulate their classics out of existence. Yes, that is true. No, current Serge Lutens is good. You don't have to worry, says Cole. I want a sample tuxedo. Hope it's nice, says Spaced Out. Hello, Sapper. Lovely to see you again too. Today I smelled a rose bouquet. Do you know any rose fragrances that are extremely realistic rose scents and nothing else? Like a floral rose. I'm probably not the best person to ask about it. Try and find something with like Taif rose in it, because I always found that to be an extremely floral rose. Maybe something by like a Riege or Boltnikov or something like that. A rose soliflor, a rose bouquet. Difficult for me to answer. By Rose Attar says it's probably a good answer. I would go with an Attar. Tea Rose, says Paolo. I just got a sample of Eklund de Fume. Will be interesting, says Cole. Give us your first impressions. Do a first impressions on your channel, Cole. We'd all like to see it. The new one is carefully woven together. More small details. The old one is more spicy and heavy-handed. Both great, says Paroli. Why can't Musk Kublai Khan still come in a Palais bottle? I always get stale sewer from those. I have 4 different Ambra Sultan bottles, 2 white label vintage, 2 new black label, and they all smell virtually identical. I couldn't tell them apart in a blind test, says Speedwolf. So far as heaven can wait to your liking. It's to my liking, but it's not to my liking to the point where I'd buy it. I might get a 10 mil. You know, there's 10 mils that Frederick Mahl does. I might get one of them. Rose de Mai. Rose de Mai, maybe. Currently, I'm absolutely obsessed with Una Rose by Frederick Mahl, but that is far further than a simple rose scent. For Taif Rose, it would be Paris Monte Carlo, says Paolo. Good that you confirm, Speed Wolf. I can't speak on other surgery time, but modern Ambra Sultan is in absolutely tip-top shape, says Speed Wolf. I know Vetiver Oriental by Serge Luton has been reformulated hugely. It's not necessarily bad, but it's very different. It's much more of a Vetiver amber, whereas Vetiver Oriental, the one I've got, is more of a Vetiver chocolate. You know. I wanted to try vintage Dior Le Col Noir pre-2018, says Spaced Out. It's not really vintage, but you know what I mean. I kind of call anything that is pre-reformulation vintage now. That's what I tend to do. To whomever was looking for rose, some good sweet jammy roses and niche. Roger Amber Oud, Fragrance Dubois Parisian, and Zerjov Astral. I do not stand by any of those brands. That is a subscriber's recommendation. Excuse me. I don't like any of those brands at all. But if you want to try them, try them. I think if you're in the UK, Greggy Boy might have samples of them. I think he does Roger samples. I think he does Fragrance Dubois samples. I think he does Zerjov samples as well, but I would check him out. What's his website called again? Fragrance Samples UK. Don't want to send you to the wrong place. I'm very sorry. For another rose, it would be Nahima by Guerlain. That's not just a rose, though, is it? Seppa says, same here, Roger is actually not even taken seriously over here in the Netherlands. It's always sitting in a corner with dust over it, but thank you for the recommendation, says Seppa. I now have the audio of Rich recommending Roger, says Carl. Welcome, Fosco. Have you tried any Rogers outside of the Parfum Cologne? Yeah, I've tried a few of them. There was one in a black bottle that was like an oud. You know, its name was like oud. elixir something. I don't know. Me and Dura Rose tried it. You'll notice Dura Rose hasn't been seen on the streams for a while. He's been hiding out somewhere. I don't know what he's up to. What is his game? Enigma Parfum is Roger's very best, in my opinion, says Divine. How's the coffee note in Dior's Vetiver? Do you know, I don't think I've ever smelled it. Hope to see it 30% off on Black Friday, no hesitation, says Divine. I think Peter was looking at Roger's website and he's got some money off of... I think he's got some money off of some of his fragrances that he's discontinued on his website. I can't get enough of oud, says Kareem. Do you know what it is? There are some people who absolutely love oud and they swear by it. Like, I know Ramsey's really into oud. Like, he's into lots of things, but he really likes oud. It's not something I've ever been able to get into. It's just not my thing. It's just not my thing. I've tried. I've sampled quite a few different kinds of oud. And while I like the smell of some of them, like, if I never smelled another one again, it wouldn't bother us, you know? Like, I'd still like to find an oud that I'd like to buy and have, like, quality. I know Early Greek, Thomas from Early Greek, he absolutely loves his ouds at the minute. Absolutely loves his ouds at the minute. And Thomas has got very similar taste to me, you know, as has Ramsey. So it just shows you that just because you like one thing doesn't necessarily mean you like something else, but we've all got our quirks, haven't we? You know what I mean? Me, I love oud. Rich, come to Dubai. Smell the real deal. If everybody would like to fund a trip for me to Dubai, including the incredible insurance that it would surely cost, with everything that's wrong with me, be my guest. You might enjoy Amouage's latest King Blue if you have any interest in animalics. That one has a Samud. I was listening to the latest Les Odorants podcast today, and they were loving it. No, sorry, that's a lie. They thought it was all right. Who else was I talking to who said that they really liked it? Sorry, I've had a complete brain fart there. Yep, he has discontinued line on a permanent sale for 30% off, and you can stack in there run to 10% and 15% off codes. Rose Nacree du Désert is an amazing rose if you can find it. Rose Barbar is really nice as well. For me, it's Diaghilev and Haute Luxe Parfum de la Nuit Toi. I kind of detest oud, says Spaced Out. You might enjoy. I don't detest oud. It's just not my thing. Like, you might enjoy Amouage's latest King Blue if you have any interest in animalics. Animalics, bloody hell! I go through oud cravings, says Fosco. I think I do that with other notes. I'm just waiting for it to get a little bit colder before I bust out Balenciaga Pour Homme. It's sitting there very quietly, very patiently. It has nothing to prove. It knows it doesn't. It's letting the kids run around and play at the minute. Royal Tobacco's great. Kratos, thank you. Welcome back. How are you? Pull up a pew. Sit down. Join us. What have you been wearing? Kareem Ajibola Camille says, I love oud. Growing up in Nigeria, the smell was everywhere. There were a lot of oud in Nigeria. Isn't that interesting? Wearing oud in Canada is a little challenging because people don't like it as much. Fuck the people. I think your favourite note is mint, ain't it, Rich? I mean, it's up there, but I don't think it's my favourite note. I really don't care about Amawash. I've never been, with my taste, you'd think I'd be banging to Amawash, and I'm not. I've got two. I've got Jubilation 25, which is one of the best fragrances of the century, I think. And I've got Diamant, which I never wear, which is a shame because it's actually rather nice. Excuse me whilst I hydrate. Rich, have you smelled Amawash Royal Tobacco? It's a massive perfume. Sort of smells like fumery Turk with dried fruits and pot puree. Yikes. I'm not entirely sure how I feel about fumery Turk. Renault destroyed Amawash. Apparently, that Persolace stream was an advert, was an advertisement. He's getting too close to Amawash. Like, I mean, I can't tell him what to do and stuff like that, but there are people, there are not, I would say there are whispering. There's definitely more, but I don't like it personally either. DMS says, I'm okay with buried fake oud, costume national soul comes to mind. Dior Privé bottles are too pretty to be filled with garbage, mediocre juice, zero creativity, shame. Vintage Jubilation 25 is goated. Shame about current. Fumery Turk is definitely an acquired taste. There's something about Fumery Turk that makes me a little bit nauseous, and I don't know what it is. You know? I don't know what it is about. It's like being engulfed in campfire smoke. I think it's something about the sweetness. I think there's something about the sweetness of Fumery Turk. You know? It's a little bit off. It might be the C12 aldehyde. Which one's that one? Is that the one? Is that the peachy one? Speed Wolf. The smoke aldehyde, sorry. Last week at work, some Cullinan Diamond and Regent Leather from Thameen and Chipmunk from Zoologist. Lol, today I'm naked, no scent yet. Last week wore some Cullinan Diamond and Regent Leather from Thameen. Are they the two new ones? Are they two of the new ones? Acro's two most recent releases have been so underwhelming. Rise and East doesn't interest me at all. Like the other, like Ink, Haze, and Dark, just to mention a few. Hope he does something wild next. Is it the honey note in Fumery Turk? I doubt it's the honey note. I would wear Montal over Xerjoff any day. They're very similar brands. Very similar brands. Richie G's wife bought the new she bought the new girl on Aqua Allegoria today, the Bosca vanilla. Excuse me whilst I cough. I would wear Montalvo over Xerjoff any day. New as Bohemian and Fanfare. Got you. C12 is what gives the deep, dark, black smoke smelling fragrances like Unum Labs, the Labo, Patchouli 24, and Fumery Turk. That's pure crap. Anybody that smells Xerjoff and Montal side by side can state which one is higher quality. It's not even close. So, no doubt that Xerjoff uses more high quality materials, right? But the ideas behind those fragrances, the motives and the intent is very similar. And I would say some of the execution is similar as well. Big, sweet, sweeping perfumes that create this kind of bro-ish kind of this bro-ish kind of overwhelming as come hither as a broken bee, you know. Ah, Laura G is here. Welcome, Laura G. It is her cat. It is her son and heir who is on the thumbnail. It was Laura G's birthday on Saturday. Say happy birthday. Hi. The intent is commercial perfumery, though. Xerjoff dropped 6 fragrances so far, 4 under Cami. And Cami makes almost entirely Oriental-driven perfumes. Smelling Xerjoff and Montal side by side is asking for a headache. Totally agree. Unum Labs is wild. I was eyeing that up longingly today. I might wear that in the next few days. Ow! Ow. Give me Montal any day. Montal knows what he's doing. He's giving us power and protection, baby, for great prices. Awful stuff. Laura G says she just bought the vanilla. She did buy the vanilla. Bosco vanilla. Is it Bosco or Bosca? Boss vanilla. I haven't smelled it yet. Laura G's got the scoop. It's Bosco vanilla. That's right. Could you do a Xerjoff sample set video? It wouldn't be fair because I would be going into it wanting to say there was shite. I do have the scoop. I also have the bottle. She has the bottle and the scoop. How do I feel about vanilla? There's so many vanillas about that they have to be pretty great. But there's so much vanilla in perfume. Rarely do you get a vanilla that stands out. There's one called Tejota, but it smells a bit like cake. And Laura said this one doesn't smell like cake. She said it smells like vanilla with citrus, but not cake. And we know cake after the weekend, don't we? We ate lots of cake at the weekend. I took some cake round to the house of Gardner, Shea Gardner, and woof, I was defeated by cake. Wow. There was some key lime cheesecake. There was key lime cheesecake. There was meringue. There was chocolate truffle. There was, oh God, I forgot what the other ones were. Oh, there was a strawberry Melba, and then there was something else, and I can't remember what it was. A brandy snap. How was the brandy snap? Was the brandy snap nice? New Parfum de Marley given to the shill, says product. Yeah, I've seen all of those videos. I didn't care much for the Bosca Vanilla, says Paul Buffalo. Someone needs to even out all the Xerjoff hype. I'm all for it, says DMS. I hate vanilla, says Kareem. Good at sniffing out notes, says Laura. She does have a good nose, actually. I think women's sense of smell might be better than men's. Sorry, lads. Did you see the presentation for the new Unum fragrance? It's so weird. I think so. Was that the one that's got the whole... It's got the weird... No, that's the new Nasamato, isn't it? With the willy on the top. Not very snappy. Was it not very snappy? Was it soft? I get defeated by cake all the time, says Kareem. Yes. Josie says, what incident diplomatique for the to the first day of class? Nice. And a strawberry melba, a brandy snap. Hated oud yuzu. I can only imagine that being awful. I can't imagine that being great. I'm going to have to go and dehydrate. Friends, I'll be back in a couple of minutes. Bear with us, please. If you would care to like the stream, please be my guest. But I'll be back. Anon. Oof, I'm back. It's me. I have returned. Oh! Pumpkin. What's up, Duck? Did you say vanilla? Welcome, Stephs. Whatever happened to AC? AC's just busy, I believe. I think that's where he is. Fellas. If you put some green in it, then tone down the sweetness of the yuzu, that should be great, says Kareem. The new Unum frag has sharp, scary scissors built into the presentation. Oh dear. He's unusual. I don't think there's any kind of denying that. That our friend Filippo Sorcinelli is an unusual character. I mean, he's very good at what he does. He makes robes for the Pope. You know what I mean? Is La Couche de Diable a good Halloween frag? Pass. I've smelled it a few times, but not well enough to know. Does anybody know of any pumpkin fragrances, like a spiced pumpkin latte? Or just a spicy pumpkin? Asking for a friend. Like, that's a great search for Halloween, says Carl. Le Couche de Diable's, it's nice. It was Le Participe Passé that I thought was rotten. What would be a good fragrance for Halloween, says Enrique? Bat. Could use Bat by Zoologist. Anything incensey, I think. Or something quite... Good night, Paul Befemo. Halloween. I think this would be good. Simply because Robes called this the devil's juice. It's like Fahrenheit with myrrh and incense. And it is the devil's juice. It's the best Fahrenheit flanker. You just can't get it anymore, which is a tragedy, but it's absolutely brilliant. That's a great search for Halloween. SA not here. Kareem Ajibola Camille says, that reminds me you're a man of culture, Rich. Do you have any leather fragrance suggestions that smells like brown tanned leather? Brown tanned leather, yes. Queer Maresque by Serge Luton. Even in the Graziel bottles, I've actually got a bottle for sale. If you were in the UK, I would sort you out. This, there it is. That Graziel. That is a brown tanned leather. Fendi Uomo, but that's harder to find. Brown tanned leather. I wasn't going to wear many of my leather fragrances this year because I want to focus on the ambers. I've got a lot of leathers and I've got a lot of ambers. But if you can, see if you can get a hold of Queer Maresque. I have to go pet a Max. Good evening, Laura, and thank you for all your Max content. Everyone is thankful, especially me. I will speak to you after the stream. Max is the cat who is on the thumbnail of this video. A brown tanned leather. Bellamy. Is Bellamy a brown tanned leather? I'm not sure about that, actually. Derby by Guerlain. What percentage of the coffee does Max get? Max doesn't drink coffee. I will never get my nose on Fahrenheit Absolute. We'll have to settle for the Elixir Absolute if it is true. Most frags is in the new awful shill light channel, similar to Fragment. Mag's Frags is the new awful shill light channel, similar to Fragmental, says Spaced Out. Or Masculine Intent smells like Halloween. I still find the labdanum in La Couche de Diable to smell like tomato paste. That's interesting. Pumpkin would be like this by Eldo. I'll never get my nose. Oh, sorry, I've read that. The banana one Richie G has would be good for Halloween. Something a bit out there. I gave him that. What was it? Sarah Baker. Jungle Jezebel. It's banana and piss. Stephen D and Manly Sense. Good evening. Tripler, also good evening. Trip's my name and liking the stream is my game. Bellamy or Jules Rich? Ooh. Different fragrances. Different fragrances. Duck, you're quite clever. I like it. Thanks. What makes you say that? Saving my money to consult with the apprentice, says Bosco. Some people would like that. Some people would like that, you know. Testa di Moro is a great leather incense, says Paroli. Who's that by? Sent today's vintage Eau de Guerlain. Loving this juice, says Tripler. Eau de Guerlain at this time of year. It's actually got decidedly autumnal round here in the last week. The weather's been not just cool, but cold and wet. Very wet. Scent of the day is Sergio Tacchini. Testa di Moro is SF. Salvatore Ferragamo, I beg your pardon, says Paroli. If Eugene doesn't send you the new Les Abstray next year, will you review them? If I bought them, I would, but I might not want to buy them. It's dodgy ground, that. I don't know, actually, in fact, if I did buy them, that I'd review them. Too close to give any sense, you know. Couldn't be anything like impartial, could I? If we're being honest, let's be honest, like, people who review their friends' fragrances, they can't be impartial, they fucking can't. And I'm no different, why I don't. So even if I did buy them, I'm not sure I would review them, no. I even thought about saying, I'll review Eugene's fragrances a year after they've been released, which would be now. And then I decided against doing that as well, to be honest. I'm just not going to. Do you like any Louis Vuitton? Do you mean Louis Vuitton by LV? Do you mean Louis Vuitton or do you mean Lorenzo Viaresi? Do you wear Portrait of a Lady, Duff? I had a go last night and it may be too berrylicious for me. I do like Portrait of a Lady. It didn't used to be so berrylicious. I think it's got a lot of like ambroxan in it. It's got some kind of push, you know, ISO-y super ambroxan type of thing in it now to fill in the fact that they've taken out a lot of the rose. If you just described how it smells to you, would that still be conflict of interest? Well, the thing is this is an opinion channel. It's not a fact-based channel. I could sit there and go through the note listing with you, no problem. I even do that. You know, when I do my fragrance rotation of the week, I'll sit and say what, like, it smells like. Just don't give opinion on it. It's not right. It's not right. It's not right for me to sit there and slaughter people for years about doing shit like that and then start doing it myself. It would make a dick of me. It would be me making an absolute dick of myself, and people would call us out on it, and they'd be right. So I don't mind talking about it in private. Like, Carl, if you want to talk about it, like, get me email us and we'll talk about it. Like, in private, like, I'm not going to sit there and censor myself, like, you know, like when I go downstairs and talk to me mother, and my mother asks us, oh, what's that? I'm not going to be like, oh, sorry, Mum, can't talk about it. It's just when I'm on the channel. or on the internet. Duncan is watching Time Cap. Who is Ron? What is Ron? Scent of the night is Ambra Fetiche, says Ashley Bissett. I've just been showcasing my old Ambra Fetiche. The Fahrenheit Absolute Spray is like fire hose, too much, too precious. That Millesime Imperial that I sprayed before has honestly just, it's dominant, it's beaten us about the head. You were asked about a Halloween fragrance. I liked your answers. I put ambroxan in my edibles. Steph's. Sorry, Steph's. I put ambroxan in my edibles. Hi, chatting everyone. Welcome, Empty. I'm pretty sure tested a mono translates to head of a moor. Black man. Doesn't sound very PC. Oh. Don't chop off anyone's head or target people's heads because of what colour they are. Jesus. If we're going to be decapitating anyone on this channel, we will be equal opportunity decapitators. Anyone can fucking get it. Long after anyone has last uploaded a fragrance video, Joy and me will still release 3 videos a day like nothing happened. Absolutely. God bless that man. What's your favourite patchouli fragrance, says RP Rentals, just coming in with an absolute barnstormer. What is my favourite patchouli fragrance? I actually did a top 10 patchoulis on the channel once. Ay, cabron. Could be Real Patchouli, EDT, by Bois 1920. I love that stuff. Absolutely despise the brand. But I love that stuff. I have ascended, says Empty. Who is Ron? What is Ron? Rich, speaking of Patch, what's your final verdict on Giorgio VIP? Really good. I really like it. Very old school masculine type thing though. I've really been liking Javanese patchouli as of late, says James. Might as well ask, what's the best food? Yeah, it's hard to nail down. It's an old Italian folk tale, says Paroli. Head of a cock sounds even less PC, says Manly Sense. Morgan Freeman nailed the Moorish sidekick in Robin Hood with Costner, says Tripler. Yes. It was a bad film in a lot of ways, that, but Morgan Freeman's very good at what he does. I don't like Mondays except when the duck is on, says Empties. Thanks. I've actually streamed twice today. One on the gaming channel, one on the perfume channel, which I'm doing right now. How many patchouli fragrances does Serge Luton have? I know they've got Borneo 1834, but like, really, considering how many jasmine fragrances they've got, you know? And how many, like, incensey kind of fragrances they've got. It's a terrible adaptation of the Robin Hood story with so many American accents, but goddamn so much fun to watch. It is fun. You're beasting through it, Rich. That's right. What's the distinction from Indonesian patchouli? In what way? It's just what part of the like what part of the world it's from and what the growing conditions are like and the humidity and the soil and all of that gives, and the genus. Excited about some samples on their way. First in months, Camel up at 10. Camel's nice. I thought about wearing Camel today actually. Camel up at 10 and Anat Fritz Classical, which is frequently cited as a top lavender. Anat Fritz Classical. Let me have a look. Top lavender, you claim. Let's have a look. What was that? Fritz. Oh shit. Anat Fritz Classical. For women and for men. Bottle's interesting. It's got a net around it. Where'd you get that sample from? Anat Fritz. Anat Fritz Classical. Where do I find these people? Oh, Lucky Scent. Oh, fuck me. I take it it's not particularly easy to find on the old European side of the water. Because you know that they want a lot of money for shipping. As far as Lucky Scent's concerned, it's like a lot of money. The lava effect. Top 2 patchouli. Psychedelic Javois. Patchouli Parfum Aroma. Do you want to know what it is? I did not like Psychedelic by Javois. I thought it smelled cheap. Patchouli Coromandel. Patchouli by Lorenzo Vioresi. That's a good one. Patchouli and Pat Alexia by Reminiscence. Monsieur by Frederick Malle. Noir Patchouli by Histoires de Parfum. Black Orchid is an underrated patchouli. Perfume Loft has a spray sample. Not sure if they ship to you. Borneo 1834. Empty says, I don't have any patch-based frags left. Damn. Oh. Horizon by Rissia Legrand is a great patchouli. I had something off them that I just could not stop. It was like choking us out. What was it called? Ow. I will actually listen for recommendations. Says Empty. Monsieur is a near awful category for me. It's very scratchy, screechy, as Eugene describes it. Monsieur. Yikes. It smells like oiled machinery than patchouli, says Paroli. It smells like, I know what you mean by oiled machinery, but what to me it smells like is this kind of desiccated, like dry. Do you know when you throw lye on a body or something that'll fucking just corrode? Like it's corrosively dry. You know, it'll strip the moisture out of fucking anything. It's a difficult wear. I really struggled with that perfume for a long time. You go back and watch me review. You go back and watch me review. It's not an easy perfume to get like your head around at all. At all. I've still got this one. Why the fuck have I got the bottle out? I've still got this. Fuck. I might give this to me mate. Give that to me mate and see if she wants it. If I was going to put my Dries Van Noten... Oh, shit. How much do you think I sell that for? It's me Dries Van Noten. Been enjoying Villaresi's patch. Has a nice touch of leather. Santa Maria Novella is massive, but also nuanced in the dry down. Yes, Santa Maria Novella Patchouli was really nice, and Nick N, who gets on the channel sometimes, very kindly went into their store and soaked a test strip, put it in a little baggie, and sent it to me because they wouldn't give him a fucking decant. The bastards. And he sent it to us very kindly. I liked it, but I resent the fact that Santa Maria Novella are such shits when it comes to getting their fragrances and sampling their fragrances. All well and good being 800 years old, but this isn't 800 years ago. You've got to be dealing with like the modern way of things, you know. I don't even know you can buy stuff on their website. I mean, that might be an outrageous slander that I've just levelled at Santa Maria Novella there. Santa Maria Novella. Can you buy things on their website? What the fuck would be the point of it in being there, to be honest? It's closed. It's website. UK Santa Maria close. I do not want your fucking... I don't want your fucking cookies, you bastards, you. The website's an absolute pig to use as well. Also, they do actually sell stuff on their website. Our customer care is non-existent. Oh, that's what they were going to say. Rose Gardenia. They've opened a store in Los Angeles. Yes, they've got one in... They've got one in London, they've got one in Florence, and they've got one in Los Angeles. Need help? Do you? Making a website that actually works? You bitch you. Magnolia, Jealous. Do you know what it is? Their fragrances are great as well. I don't care about your bestsellers, you absolute shits. Just show me a list of the perfumes that you sell. Fragrances category by fragrance, so view all, right, and there's nothing there. All right, there I go. I'm just going to put in patchouli. Yeah, it's there, but there's no actual just like plain old-fashioned list of their perfumes. Our most loved products. You may be interested. I may be interested in fucking coming down there and beating someone up to get a look at your bloody list of perfumes, you shits. Absolute havoc. How will they sell anything if it's hard to sample them? I don't know that they do sell a lot. We'll get the Villaresi patch soon. I have not smelled a single bad fragrance from them. Only the performance sometimes sucks. Yeah, they don't make bad perfumes, to be fair. Can't forget Dip Tempo by Diptyque. I don't think that's very good either. I'm not a big fan of Dip, and you would think I'd really like it because I like Diptyque and I love patchouli. But I just didn't rate that at all. They've opened a store in Los Angeles. I often talk about, but the patchouli nut and a Escada pour on is very enjoyable. And even through stockists, isn't it a percentage off their profit? Lidge was my last patchouli, says Empty. It's a fucking great fragrance. Longstunt is an amazing patchouli, fantastic. I believe 80s de Venusta store will send you any of the Santa Maria Novella samples, says Tripler. But you've got to pay for postage from America. I found 80s de Venustas to be really, really sound, actually. Because I spoke to them when I got the sample set, and they were really, really sound. They told me that Iris Nazarena hadn't been reformulated, and I was like, well, I have heard that before. Just politely nodded and smiled and moved on. And I have got a vintage bottle, and I have got a brand new bottle, and they're identical. If there is a difference, they've got it past me, because I can't tell at all. Really enjoyed that. Gets compliments to Walt Whitman. Who does he pitch for? What? Whitman's Aristocrat, the big house at Sarah. Hello, Paolo. Yeah. Ooh. A little bit of the bubbly. Where I got myself a sample of Followed by Kerosene, and I can't find it, and it's out there somewhere in amongst the mess that has become my desk. I am become mess, the destroyer of cleanliness. Have you sampled Signature yet from Aries de Venustas? No, I haven't. Arrogance also has a great patch. Gave my bottle of Arrogance away. Enjoy the original Tom Ford Noir for its patch note. Yes. So that's a nuke of a fragrance. Followed, that is. Yes, it's massive. That's one thing I can't reveal. I was going to do a first impressions, but I'm not sure I've got the bottle for it, like. It's absolutely gargantuan. Like, literally, I could smell it through it. Rulia White are the distributors for Kerosene in the UK, and Rulia White decanted me a sample of, what's it called? They decanted me a sample of Followed, and I knew what it smelled like before I opened the fucking envelope, like. It's monumental. It's absolutely gargantuan. It's a frighteningly big perfume. Like, too much. I mean, you're basically getting a fucking review from us here, but Lord, have mercy upon my soul. Was that a big perfume? Yes, it motherfucking was. I need to buy some actual. Decant vials, sample vials, so that I can start distributing to friends again and people who want to smell things that I've got, because I don't have any at the minute. Where's it got? There it is. I don't know why I've pulled this out. It's absolutely devastating. Amawaj Myths woman, very kindly sent to me by Natalia, who was just generally very kind. Lovely. Ooh. Pablo Borneo is so nice, so rich and so cozy. Smell it next to Coromandel and tell me that they're not the same, essentially the same perfume. Oh my God, it's so big. That's what your mom says. Anyway, there it is. There's my sample. Spicy. I get some spice from it, massively so. It's a very spicy perfume, that. What are we looking for? Followed. Followed as a follow-up or second chapter to Kerosene's earlier composition, Follow. Though the two are distinctly different creations, followed as dense, delicious combinations of cocoa, amber, vanilla, coffee, and caramel. You are sure to be followed when wearing the scent. You've got problems, and smelling delectable isn't one of them. Be prepared to be followed as others smell coffee, caramel, vanilla, cocoa, and amber in your wake. Spice. Absolute spice. There is spice in that. I would fucking bet my life on it. Some kind of outrageous spice. It's nice, but I prefer the original, I've got to be honest. I like John Pegg. I like everything John Pegg has done and stands for. He was literally one of us and then went on to be a perfumer. And he's very good at what he does. Oh, followed, not for me. This is my bottle of Follow, though. Honestly, here's the plaque. Nice sturdy metal plaque which fell off. Unfortunately, it's a commonly known thing. I can tell you as well, the skin on the bottle, that is just so poor. The skin on the bottle's coming away as well, a bit like the same on my Fade On Tobacco Rouge. But I don't care, because the sprayer still works and what's in the bottle is absolutely gorgeous. I might wear that tomorrow. That reminds me of winter. Does Follow. I remember when. Whoa. Nothing some blue tack won't fix. I can tell you right now, I'm not using blue tack, mate. Yes, I'm creating a war for women as a rosy one. Do orangutans come only from Borneo? Got a bounce, she's empty. She's empty. Today I smelled I'm creating a war for women completely unrelated. The man smells nothing like black ink either. Men's classics with Patch, Givenchy Gentleman, Zeno, Jojo for Men by Giorgio Beverly Hills. Can one be into the fragrance hobby without buying, testing new stuff? Makes me think. Yes, but it's difficult. I mean, you can always go back and I don't know. I think it's part of the experience personally, but there we are. Dushan says, Bobby, only on Borneo and Sumatra you can find them. What about Coromandel, don't you like? Fosco, says Bob. Hello, Micah, how are you? Actually, I can't deny it's pretty good. Jammy Rose Oud is subdued to ambergris dry down. What's your take on Xerjoff Richwood? Overrated, overpriced, overexposed, bit naff, modern perfume. Right, it really does represent modern perfume to Xerjoff, and not well either. What is happening? I might have to go in the bin. I remember when. Where's my medicines? Sans Frontier. Lovely Laura, you gave me good service today. But I will not be writing a review for you because I can't be chewed. Smell stuff at market and in nature space, it's all there. Yes. Mike was wearing Bel Respiro. I just bought a 10 ml decant of Zerzov Hom, says Duchan. I saw a bottle in a charity shop for a truly great price. Unfortunately, there was another fragrance I really wanted for a great price, says Ashley. What of? Oh, Amber Oud. You saw a bottle of Amber Oud in a charity shop. Some people look down on reviewers who review 5 ml samples but then salivate when another reviewer is holding a bottle with only 1 ml missing, says Manly Sense. That is a problem. Do I think you can review from a sample? Yeah, I wouldn't, personally. I like to have worn a perfume extensively. Like, I did my top 10 most worn spring and summer 2023, and the top two were literally empty bottles. And you've seen me wear them over the years as well. And I've reviewed one of them, and I don't want to review the other one because I love it so much and I don't think I'll do it justice. You know what I mean? Right, next to a bottle of Diaghilev, says Ashley. Good grief, how full were they? Who the fuck's giving it Rogers to charity shops? You'd be better off selling them and giving them the money. Dear me. Kareem says same, I don't do samples, I just buy them. If I don't like it, I still wear them, others might. Full to the top. Dear me, somebody must have died after buying it. Maybe they bought it, smelled it once, died at how overpriced it was, and then they got taken to a charity shop. It would take me 500 years to go through a bottle, but I was impressed, says Fosco. That's the problem for all of us, don't we? It's, is that you, Fosco, selling that Irish Silver Mist on eBay? Fosco, are you selling Irish Silver Mist and not letting on? Because I would buy that. I got Diaghilev left for £100, says Ashley. Goodness, you should have rang us. I'd have lent you the money for the other one. Go back tomorrow. I'll send you the money. Same, I don't do something. Oh, sorry, I read that. Fosco, are you selling Irish Silver Mist? Young man. My friend, my buddy, my pal, my G. I've always liked you, you know, Fosco. Disappointed in my sample of fat green water. Leans too feminine for me. Sorry, Mitch, they haven't got fucking everything. It's an excellent find, that, though. I know, says Mike. Easy. No, it's Micah's first. I did want to ask Fosco, actually, if he'd heard any more about the place selling the Strangeloves for next to, well, not next to nothing, but at a much more reasonable price than they are at retail. You know? Got my bottle of Strangelove Melt My Heart. Melt my heart, not melt my arse. Don't melt my arse. There's Melt My Heart, my little 15 ml that I bought off Fliss for 100 and odd quid, which is just a scandalous price for any 15 ml, but this stuff is sensational. It's absolutely gorgeous. Fosco, if you ever hear of that, let us know. Because if that happens again, just buy a bottle of Melt My Heart, let us know, and I'll send you the money. They had Fallen to Stars in the same charity shop the other week. Who the fuck is dropping in these outrageous perfumes into this charity? Where is this charity shop, Ashley Bissett? That charming man says Smoky. I'm afraid, Charming Man, you may be a little bit late. Because it's that time again, friends. This stream has flown by. It's been very good. I've enjoyed it greatly. Ashley says I'm not telling you. I'm going to go and pitch a tent outside the charity shop, and every time someone walks in, I'm going to be like, you're not going to part with a perfume in there, are you? Anyway, I'm off. I'm off because I'm tired. Already almost 200 streams. What the fuck? That's nearly 400 hours. You know what I mean? Thinking of picking my arse, let's see. That's it, friends. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. Thank you for commenting and liking and talking with me. It has been fun. And I will see you all again soon. Good night.